Let us start with our chapter number 3 of economics, that is poverty as a challenge. So we proceed with the basic introduction first. In our daily life, we come across many people who we think are poor. They could be landless laborers in villages or people living in overcrowded juggies in cities. They could also be beggars with children in tatters. We see poverty all around us. In fact, every fourth person in India is considered to be poor. This means roughly 260 million or 26 crore people in India live in poverty. This also means that India has the largest single concentration of the poor in the world. This illustrates the seriousness of challenge. Let us now discuss two typical cases of poverty. The following two cases show the many dimensions of poverty, including lack of proper food, shelter, health care, education, as well as clean water and sanitation. They also show lack of a regular means of livelihood. Story of Ram Saran. 33 years old Ram Saran works as a daily wage laborer in a wheat flour mill near Ranchi in Jharkhand. He manages to earn around rupees 1500 a month when he finds employment. The money is not enough to sustain a family of 6, including himself, his wife, and 4 children aged between 6 months to 12 years. He has to send money home to his old parents who live in a village near Ramgarh. Ram Saran lives in a one-room rented house in a crowded urban settlement in the outskirts of the city. His wife Santa Devi works as a part-time maid in a few houses and manages to earn another rupees 800. They manage a meager meal of dal and rice twice a day, but it's never enough for all of them. His elder son works as a helper in a tea shop to supplement the family income and earns another rupees 300. His 10 years old daughter take care of the younger siblings. None of the children go to school and have to only 2 pairs of second-hand clothes. Shoes are a luxury. The children have no health care when they fall ill. Rural case story of Lakha Singh. Lakha Singh belongs to a small village near Meerut in Uttar Pradesh. His family does not own any land, so they do odd jobs for the big farmers. At times, they get paid rupees 50 for a hard day's work. The family of 8 cannot always manage 2 square meals a day. They live in a kucha hut in the outskirts of the village. The women of the family spent the day chopping fodder and collecting firewood in the fields. He had to start earning when he was 10 years old. His father, a TB patient, passed away 2 years ago due to lack of medication. His mother now suffers from the same disease and life is slowly ebbing away. Although the village has a primary school, Lakha never went there. He started earning when he was 10. New clothes are bought once in a few years, and even soap and oil are a luxury for the family. Look at these pictures. What do they show? They show that poverty means hunger and lack of shelter. Poverty also means lack of clean water and sanitation facilities. Poor people are in a situation in which they are ill treated at almost every place. It also means lack of a regular job at a minimum decent level. Poverty as seen by the social scientist. Poverty is looked through other social indicators like illiteracy level, lack of journal resistance due to malnutrition, lack of access to health care, lack of job opportunities, lack of access to safe drinking water, sanitation, etc. Let us now discuss about the indicators for poverty. The most commonly used indicators for poverty analysis are social exclusion and vulnerability. Let us discuss firstly about the social exclusion. According to this concept, poverty must be seen in terms of the poor having to live only in a poor surrounding with other poor people excluded from enjoying social equality of better off people in better surroundings. It means that कि जो social exclusion है इसका मतलब है that living in a poor surrounding with poor people and excluding from enjoying that social equality of better off people in a better surrounding. So social exclusion can be a cause as well as a result of poverty which leads to exclusion of individuals or group from facilities, benefits and opportunities that others enjoy. In India, caste system is based on social exclusion. People belonging to certain castes were prevented from enjoying equal facilities, benefits, and opportunities. This caused more poverty than the lower income. Vulnerability. Vulnerability to poverty is a measure which describes the greater probability of certain communities, example, members of a backward caste or individuals, widow, physically handicapped person, of becoming or remaining poor in the coming time. Vulnerability is determined by various options available to different communities in terms of assets, education, job, health, etc., and analyze their abilities to face risk like natural disasters. The groups which face greater risk at the time of natural calamity are called vulnerable groups. Poverty line. A common method used to measure poverty is based on the income or consumption levels. A person is considered poor if his or her income or consumption level falls below a given minimum level necessary to fulfill basic needs. The present formula for food requirement while estimating the poverty line is based on the desired calorie requirement. The accepted average calorie requirement in India is 2400 calories per person per day in rural areas and 2100 calories per person per day in urban areas. Since people living in rural areas engage themselves in more physical work, calorie requirements in rural areas are considered to be higher than urban areas. Poverty estimates. This table depicts that there is substantial decline in poverty ratios in India from about 54.9% to 36% in 1973 to 1993 and from about 36% to 26.1% in 1993 to 1999. Number of poor families has also shown a decline from 321 to 320 in 1973 to 1993 and from 320 to 260 from 1993 to 1999. Interstate disparities. In India, the proportion of poor people is not the same in every state. Bihar and Odisha continue to be the two poorest states with a poverty ratio of 47.2% and 42.6%, respectively. Urban poverty is high in Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, and Uttar Pradesh. Kerala, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, and West Bengal saw a decline in poverty. Punjab and Haryana have traditionally succeeded in reducing their poverty with the help of high agricultural growth rates. Kerala has focused more on human resource development. In West Bengal, land reform measures have helped in reducing the poverty. In Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, public distribution of food grains is responsible for the improvement. Global poverty scenario. Although extreme economic poverty has reduced in the world from 43% in 1990 to 22% in 2008, as per the World Bank, still there are vast regional differences. The proportion of people living under poverty in different countries is defined by the International Poverty Line. In Southeast Asia and China, there is a decline in poverty due to rapid economic growth and massive investment in human resource development. In Latin America and Caribbean, the poverty ratios has not been changed significantly since 1981. In sub-Saharan Africa, poverty has increased since 1981 due to successive droughts and other reasons. The Millennium Development Goals of the United Nations, formulated in the year 2000, call for reducing the proportion of people living on less than $1 a day to half the 1990 level by 2015. Causes of poverty. Poverty continues in India for a variety of reasons. These are low level of economic development under the British colonial administration. They discouraged traditional handicrafts and also industrial development, reducing job opportunities and income growth. The low level of economic development persisted for many years after independence, and due to population increase, per capita income growth was low and it will lead to a poverty. The failure at both the fronts, promotion of economic growth and population control, perpetuated the cycle of poverty. Irregular small incomes and huge income inequalities. Basically, the growth in the population increased the number of job seekers who had to be in content with low paying jobs in urban areas, leading to poverty spreading to towns and cities. Socio-cultural factors and economic factors. Both these factors led to extra expenditure which ultimately increased the poverty. There is an unequal distribution of land and other resources. That is why there are large income inequalities also. Land reforms has not been properly implemented and lack of adequate land resources is also a reason for many people to be poor. Small farmers also borrow money for seeds, fertilizers and pesticides etc. and later on fail to pay landing in debt trap. This high level of indebtedness is both the cause and effect of poverty. Anti-poverty measures by the Indian government. Removal of poverty has been one of the major objectives of Indian development strategy. The current anti-poverty strategy of the government is based on the following two objectives. Number one is promotion of economic growth. The government has promoted economic growth during the last few years. Economic growth was low till the 1980s but has increased significantly since then and causing significant poverty reduction. The high economic growth helps in a significant reduction of poverty. There is a strong linkage between economic growth and poverty reduction. Economic growth widens the opportunities and provide the resources needed to invest in human development. High economic growth encourages people to send their children, including the girl child, to school with the hope of better economic returns from investing in education. The poor may not take direct advantage of economic growth. Due to lack of growth in the agricultural sector, the large number of people remain poor in rural areas. Number second is targeted anti-poverty programs. The government introduced targeted anti-poverty programs starting from 1990s. The result of these programs have been mixed due to lack of proper implementation and improper targeting. Also, some schemes overlap others. Thus, the benefit of these schemes are not fully reaching the deserving poor. So now the government is emphasizing more on proper monitoring of all these programs. Since the 80s, India's economic growth has one of the fastest in the world. There is a strong link between economic growth and poverty reduction. Some of the schemes which are formulated to affect poverty directly or indirectly are as follows. Number one is National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, that is NREGA 2005. This act was passed in September 2005. The act assures 100 days of employment every year to every rural household in 200 districts. The scheme has been extended to more than 600 districts. One third of the jobs are reserved for women. The central government has also established National Employment Guarantee Funds. Similarly, state governments have established State Employment Guarantee Fund for the implementation of the scheme. Under the program, if an applicant is not provided employment within 15 days, he or she will be entitled to a daily unemployment allowance. Second one is National Food for Work Program, NFWP, which was launched in 2004 in 150 most backward districts of the country. The program is open to all rural poor who are in need of wage employment and desire to do manual unskilled work. It is implemented as a 100% centrally sponsored scheme and food grains are provided free of cost to the states. Once the NREGA is in force, the NFWP will be subsumed within this program. Third one is Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana, PMRY. It was started in 1993. The main aim of the program is to create self-employment opportunities for educated unemployed youth in rural areas and small towns. Fourth one is Rural Employment Generation Program, REGP. It was launched in 1995. The main aim of the program is to generate employment in rural areas, to develop entrepreneurial skills and attitude among rural unemployed youth, to achieve the goal of rural industrialization, to facilitate participation of financial institutions for higher credit flow to rural industries. Fifth one is Sarvajanti Gram Sarvozgar Yojana, RGSY. It was launched in 1999. The main aim of the program is to provide self-employment to villagers through the establishment of self-help groups. Activity clusters are established based on the aptitude and skill of the people, which are nurtured to their maximum potential. Funds are provided by NGOs, banks, and financial institutions. Sixth one is Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana, PMGY. It was launched in 2000 or 2001 in all states and union territories. Under this program, additional central assistance is given to states for basic services such as primary health, primary education, rural shelter, rural drinking water, and rural electrification. Seventh one is Antyodaya Ann Yojana, AAY. It was launched in December 2000. It is an Indian government sponsored scheme for 10 million of the poorest families. Poor families were identified by the respective state rural development departments through a BPL survey, that is below poverty line survey. 25 kg of food grains were made available to each eligible family at a highly subsidized rate of rupees 2 per kg for wheat and rupees 3 per kg for rice. This quantity has been enhanced from 25 to 35 kg with effect from April 2002. The scheme has been further expanded twice by additional 50 lakh BPL families in June 2003 and in August 2004. With this increase, 2 crore families has been covered under the AAY. The challenges ahead. Challenges that still remain providing healthcare, education, and job security for all, and achieving gender equality and dignity for the poor. These will be even bigger tasks. But despite the progress, poverty reduction remains India's most compelling challenge. Wide disparities in poverty are visible between rural and urban areas and among different states. Certain social and economic groups are more vulnerable to poverty. Poverty reduction is expected to make better progress in the next 10 to 15 years. This would be possible mainly due to the higher economic growth, increasing stress on universal free elementary education, declining population growth, increasing empowerment of the women and economically weaker sections of society.